All right, good evening and welcome to the Collegewise Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that's happening, and all of them are being recorded. So in about a week's time, on the same website where you initially registered, you'll be able to find recordings of all sessions. Without further ado, I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters, and we'll get started with Southern Methodist University.
Good evening. I am Rick Diaz from Southern Methodist. I miss not seeing your faces. I like to see y'all and say, not howdy, but hello, welcome. I understand that this is students and parents from all over the world, so glad you're here. And I want to introduce you to a place that I call home. I've been here for over 30 years at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, and you can kind of see the background behind me, but I'm going to give you a little bit more in-depth information about SMU. And I'm going to disappear for just a minute, but I am still here. So you're going to hear this voice, and I'm going to take you on a wonderful tour of campus and a little bit of information about who we are and what we do. So the first thing that I want to make sure that you know is that we are in Dallas, and Dallas is 7 miles away from campus, but the surrounding area is lush with lots of trees and a lot of nice restaurants and things for students to do. I'm actually based in Southern California, and all the kids from Southern California get a little worried because they're used to jumping in the car if they have to go 2 blocks, and they're wondering how that will be at SMU. You're allowed to have a car, but I discourage students from having a car because you really want to take advantage of everything that's around you. And so, as you can see in this picture, the surrounding area is all kinds of restaurants and shopping areas. And what's really cool is right where the SMU word is, right below that on the left-hand side, there's a light rail that takes you downtown where you can hang out in different kinds of activities in the city itself. And if you continue all the way around, you'll actually pass the American Airlines Arena, and of course from Southern California, they'll go there and see all of the Lakers play against the Mavericks, and then they'll keep on going and watch our soon-to-be, hopefully, sorry anyone from Tampa Bay, Los Angeles Dodgers world champions play against the Rangers, and also seeing the LA Rams play against the Cowboys. And then if you keep on going, you'll actually be at TCU. So there's a great connection between our two universities. But students really take advantage of what Dallas has to offer. And that's really one of the great selling points about SMU. From any part in the world, you're pretty much a short plane ride away in the continental United States. A little bit more about SMU. We have 6,500 students approximately, and definitely more undergraduate, and students are used to small classes where they get to know the faculty members, and all of our foreign language and English classes are actually capped at 15 students. But you can also see that Texas, we are not just a Texas university, we are a university of the world, where over half of our students come from outside of Texas, and actually the #1 area they come from outside of Texas, including Dallas, is Southern California. So 1 in 10 is from Southern California. And so you get a little influx of a little West Coast vibe. Students, when they come to SMU, actually focus in on academics. Of course, we have 5 academic colleges. We have, and we're most notably known for business, performing arts, communication, engineering, and then we have a phenomenal program in applied physiology and sport management, which combines all the aspects of kinesiology, pre-physical therapy, sport management, wanting to become an agent, etc. And then also students are more than just studying, they're actually living someplace, and students are required to live on campus the first 2 years, but after that it is optional. We have a very active Greek system on campus. About 1/3 of our students are involved in Greek life, which means that if you decide to go ahead and go into the Greek recruitment process, you actually don't do that till 2nd semester. So it's only about 1/3 of the students are involved in it. But if you do, you actually will be living in the houses typically your junior or senior year. But the first 2 years, you're intermingled with residential experience with everyone else. And then after that, many students will decide to live off campus, but don't be worried. On the weekends, it doesn't turn into a ghost town. Kids really take advantage of being on campus and having that wonderful experience, which is definitely something that's reflective in our athletic programs, our student organizations, and lots of traditions. This photo that you see here is Peruna. It's our mascot. And we used to be really bad in football, and the poor thing was gaining weight and would fall asleep at the games because we would never score a touchdown. Now we're scoring so many. That poor thing needs oxygen and definitely needs to be kept fed, because otherwise it will lose too much weight. But this is what we call boulevarding. It's in this area where we close it down. It's the main entrance to campus. And so we don't have tailgating. We have boulevarding, which is a great fun carnival experience. And then kids and all our fans walk on over to the stadium on campus. And organizations, we tell students that if there's something that you want to start, you just find 6 other people and a faculty member, and you've made your own club. A lot of students are very active in the high school level, and when they come to SMU, they don't want to stop doing that. And so there's lots of ways for students to do that. My niece actually went to SMU. She was a civil engineering major, and her big passion was getting more women involved in math and science. And so she did tutoring at the local middle school to accelerate the learning process for girls so that they are ready for advanced math when they're in college. And that really seems to work, because we have actually one of the highest percentages of females in our engineering program of any school in the country. And the last picture you see is a celebration of lights at Christmas time. There's a big Christmas tree out front, and then the president comes out and reads the Christmas story, and then we all light candles and it spreads out, and it just suddenly everything's all aglow, and then students have finals. It's just a great way to get kids going. As I mentioned before, we are in Dallas, which we really take advantage of. Dallas is the #2 city in the country behind New York in terms of the number of Fortune 500 companies. And what this means is that students have lots of opportunities for internships, as well as not just in Dallas, but wherever their hometown happens to be. And so when we set up an internship with you, it will be more than just learning how to use the copy machine or making the best breakfast blend in the Keurig coffee maker, but actually doing real world stuff that really makes a difference when you apply to colleges for grad school or when you're getting a job. Dallas is a fun city, and students really do take advantage of that. Finally, the last thing I want to share with you, or actually a couple more things, is that we feel very strongly about making sure that you have lots of access to scholarships, and that happens automatically. Our deadline is November 1 and January 15th for early action, early decision, and regular decision. And finally, put your questions in the chat box. I look forward to sharing more with you, and by all means, come out and check us out. Turn it back over to the facilitator, and I will wish you all a good day.
Thanks so much, Rick. Our next presentation is from St. Edward's University.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to share my screen briefly here. So my name is Mallory. I'm from St. Edward's University. We're in Austin, Texas, and I'm really excited to kind of give you some basic information on who we are. So if you've never heard of St. Edward's before, if you're totally new to us, we are on the smaller side of liberal arts universities. So we're just under 3,500 undergraduate students total. And that also means that our academic experience is really individualized, and you'll always be in really small classes with a lot of kind of one-on-one attention from your professor. So the average class size is about 18 students, and you'll never have kind of a large lecture hall class with hundreds of students in it. You'll always have that one-on-one interaction with professor who knows your name, and the ability to have small classroom discussions with your peers. We are a really diverse campus as well. So we have a lot of students from Texas, but probably about 40%, 35 to 40% of our student body coming from somewhere outside of Texas. And then we also have students coming from outside of the US as well. So we are also a Catholic university, but we have almost 35 different faith traditions represented on our campus as well. Austin has a lot to offer for our students. About 94%, I think, of our students will complete some kind of internship or hands-on experience before they graduate. And a lot of that is opportunities that exist within the city of Austin. So regardless of what your major is, you'll have great opportunities to get involved. And the city is really well known for live music, as well as a booming tech industry. There's also a lot of opportunities in like marketing and media and things like that in the city of Austin. Plus, it's really just a beautiful city. I'm originally from Austin. I've grown up here. It has a wonderful mix of kind of big city amenities and opportunities with a really friendly small town vibe, and also great access to natural spaces and natural areas. If you like to go hiking or kayaking or paddleboarding, you can do all of that like within the city limits of Austin. And our campus is only about 3 miles south of downtown. So this skyline view that you see right here, you can actually see the skyline from our campus, and you can also be right in the heart of the city in just a couple minutes. So I mentioned our classroom experience. So beyond just having that individualized attention in your classes, we also really want to make sure that students are receiving guidance to kind of plan out your college experience. 4 years may sound like a long time, but it's really not. And there's so much to do and so much to experience in that short period of time that we want to make sure that students are kind of hitting the ground running from the beginning of their freshman year. So we use a success coach model of working with students, which means that you'll have an assigned kind of guide to not only be your academic advisor, help you register for classes, help you build your schedule, but also to help guide you through thinking critically about how to spend your time on campus. Do you want to study abroad? Do you want to do an internship? Do you want to make sure that you have time outside of the classroom for things that are important to you? Maybe you want to do the arts or be in club sports, and those aren't part of your degree plan, but it's something that's important to your experience. We want to provide students with kind of comprehensive support for just knowing what's available on our campus and making sure to make the most of their time and kind of be fully realized, happy, healthy, holistically supported students on campus. And we have a really wide range of minors and majors. I won't go into detail since we have a short period of time, but if you're looking for a particular program, feel free to ask in the Q&A and I can let you know if we have it. We are also, I mentioned, a Catholic university, but within that really kind of diverse student body, we really see our role as serving and supporting students, and in particular, supporting students in deciding what your values are for yourself and finding ways to connect that to what you're studying and the opportunities that you have on our campus. So community service is something that's really popular on our campus. It's not a requirement. It's not about how many hours you do, but it's something that kind of comes naturally out of our classroom experience, that you'll be asked to think critically about not just what type of job you want after you graduate or what you're interested in doing for your major, but why you're interested in that. What are your special talents and skills, and how can you use those to get involved making a difference in the world in a way that kind of resonates for you? If you are a Catholic student, we do offer Mass on campus. We do offer opportunities for you to get involved with campus ministry and pursue your faith. And then there are also kind of student-run opportunities and organizations for students of other faiths and traditions on campus. So we want everybody to kind of engage with that in the way that feels right for them. And you'll be supported regardless of your background. We do really encourage students to live on campus. So you'll be required to live on campus for your first year. But again, our location within the Austin area is really great. So some students choose to stay on campus after that, and we continue to offer really a wide range of opportunities to stay on campus. So even if you want to stay on campus all 4 years, you probably can. And those choices are up to you. You can explore in more detail what those halls look like on our website, but know that you'll be close to everything on campus. It's a great way to meet people and get involved, and it also puts you in an awesome location in the city of Austin. As far as the admission process goes, we accept 3 different types of application. The St. Edward's application is available on our website. The common application may be one that you're familiar with. And then Apply Texas is one that is specific to Texas. If you're coming from out of state, probably not using it. Common application is probably your best bet. We really encourage you to apply early. We are reviewing applications on a rolling basis throughout the year. But if you apply by December 1st, then the application fee is automatically waived, and it also puts you in the best position possible for consideration for merit scholarships. And those can be really generous. Our merit scholarships range up to $26,000 per year, and you're automatically considered when you apply. So those can go a long way in helping make a private education an affordable option, and also just rewarding you for the good work that you've already done in high school. We also really encourage students to apply to be considered for need-based financial aid, which all students are eligible to be considered for, most via the FAFSA, but also via TASFA or other avenues for those who are not eligible for federal aid. But in closing, I really just want to invite you to ask questions, connect with us further if you're interested, and we hope to see your application and to see you on campus as a Hilltopper in the future. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Mallory. Our next presentation comes from Texas A&M Galveston.
Howdy, everyone. I hope I'm on. Okay, awesome. So let me share my screen real quick. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I lost the file. Wait, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Here we go. All righty. Howdy, everyone. My name is Rosa Ayala. I'm one of the admissions counselors at Texas A&M University at Galveston. Texas A&M University at Galveston is the coastal branch of Texas A&M University over at the main campus over in College Station. We are the same school, so we wear the same colors. We still have the same Aggie traditions, same Aggie ring, same everything. If you attend our campus, you'll still be considered a true Aggie. Our campus is more focused, of course, it's on a different campus and we have different majors. Most of our majors are more associated with the ocean. So anything that has to do with around the oceans, marine sciences, technologies, humanities, and maritime affairs. This is a quick overview of our campus. We're fairly small compared to the main campus over in College Station. We have about 2,200 to 2,300 students on our campus. Like I said, we are very small, so our classroom sizes are fairly small as well. We have about a 16 to 1 student to teacher ratio, so you get that one-on-one with your professors. And then of course, all the buildings are pretty much close by, so there's no excuses on being late. And with our small campus, we do a lot of hands-on experience. I can tell you that from my personal experience, I was a student here. I did attend here, graduated my bachelor's degree in marine biology, 2018, whoop. So that's pretty exciting. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know any of my experiences, or if you're interested in marine biology, let me know. Here on our campus, we offer 12 majors that are associated with the ocean. Again, anything that has to do with and around the ocean and its industries. Of course, we have our ocean sciences. Marine biology is one of our most popular majors on our campus. Marine biology is the study of marine life, from the biggest of whales to the smallest microorganisms like phytoplankton. That also includes seaweed, seagrasses, and corals. It is still technically a biology degree, so if you don't want to focus on the marine side, you can still work with terrestrial animals as well. I have 2 classmates of mine that are currently working at a zoo. If you want to work into research, or if you want to stick with marine biology side, you can still work in research, conservation, work in aquariums behind the scenes, or go into higher education as well. Marine fisheries, this is more fish count. So aquaculture, mariculture, this is basically culturing fish for either research or for consumption. If you're interested in becoming a game warden and working with Texas Parks and Wildlife, a lot of Texas Parks and Wildlife does look at our students that have that marine fisheries degree. It's very common for students to double major, double degree with marine biology and marine fisheries because their curriculums are kind of side by side. Marine science is the physical side of the ocean sciences. So if you're interested in how the currents work, underwater cave systems, underwater trenches, underwater volcanoes, anything on the oceanography, or like the geography of the ocean, which is what oceanography is. That's our marine science program. So let me continue on. Marine Environmental Sciences Society, this is an environmental science degree. So students who are curious on how economics, social related, and developments of the marine and coastal resources, how natural storms or how we affect the environment, that's what Marine Environmental Science and Society focuses on. Maritime industries, this is also one of our other most popular, that's what we offer here on our campus. Maritime Business Administration, this is our business degree. So if students are interested in going into business, they'll get a little taste of everything: accounting, financing, marketing, but they'll also get some experience on the maritime industry side, like organizational behavior, transportation economics, port and terminal management, all in one. Marine transportation is one of our other most popular majors here on our campus. Students that are interested in captaining their own ship, so navigating, piloting their own ship, either for transportation or for research or for like the cruise industries. Will basically get them their training that they need to operate big shipping or big ships, basically like a driver's license. Marine engineering and technology, another popular major here on our campus. This is our mechanical and electrical engineering. So students who are interested in going into that type of engineering, we do offer that here on our campus. Marine engineering and technology is kind of the heart of the maritime industries because they're the ones maintaining and making sure those ships are working properly. You'll see some italicized words with the license option. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but that license option for marine engineering gets you on the ship. So students who are interested in traveling with the ship, they'll have to have that license to get on there. Ocean engineering is a College Station degree. And so you would have to apply to College Station, but you'll be taking all your classes over on our campus. This is our civil, mechanical, electrical, and naval architectural engineering. So students who are interested in designing ships, engines, bridges, buildings near bodies of water, floating platforms, oil rigs, oil platforms, underwater pipe systems, even underwater vehicles as well. Vehicles. Liberal studies, maritime studies is kind of the Indiana version. It's the ocean version of Indiana Jones. It focuses a lot of on archaeology, history, literature, communication, and politics of the maritime people back in the day. So this is a history degree, but with this, you can also go into the FBI Academy because you do focus a lot on communication and politics. We had a student ambassador before who was offered a position in the in the FBI Academy. So I thought that was pretty neat. University studies with a concentration. This just means you have to have 2 minors with your major. We have 3 majors under university studies: marine environmental law and policy. This is our pre-law degree. So students who are interested in going into law school, they get all their prerequisites here. Tourism and coastal community developments provide skills to assist coastal communities. So this just means if a student's interested in the tourism industries, am I running out of time? Oh, okay. Tourism industries, they can work with different businesses around very dense touristy areas. Oceans and One Health, this is our pre-med, pre-vet, and pre-dental program. So students who are interested in going into dental school, medical school, or veterinary school, this is all the prerequisites for it as well. Some of the minors that we offer here on our campus, our most popular ones, diving technologies and methods, which is our scuba diving degree. And then we do offer minors with College Station as well. It doesn't mean that you'll be driving back and forth between College Station and us. It could be all online as well. Let's see. Let me go into the Maritime Academy real quick, or let me do the application process, which is one of the most important things. So for the application process, you'll apply through Apply Texas. You'll do the application fee of $75. Essay topic A. We need all official high school transcripts with your rank and graduation plan. Test scores are optional for spring 2021 and fall 2021. Students that are interested in the Texas Maritime Academy, please email me so I can give you more information on that as well. Deadlines for freshmen is May 1st, and if you're interested in applying for the Ocean Engineering program, their deadline's December 1st. For transfer students, you need 24 transferable credit hours and a GPA of a 2.5. Same application process, just with transfer students. Deadline's December 1st for spring 2021, fall 2021, June 30th. Let's see.
All right. Unfortunately, we are out of time.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. And if anyone has any additional questions, certainly feel free to leave them for Rosa in the chat, or you see her contact information on the screen as well.
Yes, I apologize.
No problem at all. But we do have to move on to our next institution, and I'm pleased to welcome Texas Christian University.
All right, well, good evening, everyone. Let me formally introduce myself. My name is Ray Person, and I'm an Assistant Director of Admission here at Texas Christian University, located in Fort Worth, Texas. So what I'm actually going to do really quickly is I'm actually going to share my screen because I do have a short presentation that I would like to use to kind of help me navigate this process. So can you all see, let me see here, make sure I'm doing this correctly. One moment. Let's see here. All right. All right, so hopefully you're able to see the proper screen. What do you all see? Just a purple screen in front of you? Anyone can
No, we
confirm?
do see presenter mode.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you. I'm so sorry for this, guys. Let's see here. Let's see if this works better. A second. From beginning. All righty. Well, hopefully this works. For some reason, it is giving me difficulties, guys. I'm so sorry about this. Try one more time. And hopefully it works. If not, then I will just move forward without. Okay, I think that you all still see presenter mode, correct?
We
Owen?
do, yes. Do
Okay.
you want to skip to the next institution and see?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, to be really honest, I don't need the presentation. I can actually come back to it if need be.
Sure.
With that being said, I will actually go ahead and present. My name is Ray Person, and I'm actually an assistant director of admission here at TCU. So my job is I get the great opportunity of working with students who are, one, interested in attending college, more specifically TCU. Definitely wanted to provide you with some background information about our institution. We were founded in 1873 by two brothers who were prime ministers who were associated with the Disciples of Christ Church. Today, TCU is still associated with the Disciples of Christ Church. However, we actually have over 60 different faith denominations represented on the campus of TCU, with the largest denomination actually being Roman Catholic. Overall, we actually have about, again, 60 different faiths represented on our campus, but know that there are no religious requirements as it relates to being able to attend our institution. Okay, the only requirement that we have here at TCU is that you would have to take at least one religious course as a part of your core curriculum. But again, know that there are no religious requirements as it relates to attending our institution. We will not require for you to sign a statement of faith either. We just ask that you allow us to be in the passenger seat of your spiritual journey. Here at TCU, your spiritual journey can be as small or as robust as you would like for it to be. We actually have over 25 plus different faith-based organizations on our campus. We also too have an entire office dedicated to religious and spiritual life at our university. And also too, our students actually have really good relationships with a lot of the local churches within the area as well. So when we think about TCU, when it comes to the sheer numbers of the institution, I always like to describe our institution as a small to medium-sized liberal arts college with large university resources. Overall, we actually have about 11,000 students on our campus, with about 9,700 of those students being undergraduate. When we think about where those students are coming from, 50% of our students actually come from the great state of Texas, while the other 50% comes from the other awesome states outside of Texas, which includes our international population. Within the classroom, our class sizes are about 27 students per class, with a 13-to-1 student to teacher ratio. And we actually see about a 92% retention rate as it relates to students who return after their freshman year. We do hand select our students, and we do also too, again, keep our class sizes small, because like some of our other institutions like St. Edward's, we'd like to keep our classes small because we really want for you to build those long-lasting relationships with our faculty and staff at our institution, and also too at SMU as well. Building those relationships within the classroom are very important to us. So although we like to provide a very intimate setting to our students, we like to compete very big as well. We're actually a Division I school, and we compete in the Big 12 Conference. At the moment, we actually have about 9 different men's sports and 13 different women's sports. And all of our sporting events are actually, competing on that level. But the cool thing that I love about our sporting events is that we would never require for you to actually have to purchase a sports pass to go to any of our sporting events. We do that as a way to get you out of your dorm room and out on campus and immersed in student life. The great thing that I love about TCU, where we're located in Fort Worth, is we're plopped into the middle of a community. So game days are ridiculously fun for TCU because the entire community basically embraces the Horned Frog Way. Again, building that sense of community and also too that sense of pride as it relates to being a TCU Horned Frog is very important to us. Now within the classroom, as it relates to our different majors at the institution, we have 9 different academic colleges, with 8 of them being degree seeking. Overall, we have about 115 different majors on our campus, okay? With the most popular being business, our pre-health majors, as well as our direct entry nursing program as well. Can I double major at TCU? Yes, you can. Can you pick up a minor at TCU? Yes, you can. But then also too, if you're one of those students who are stating, Mr. Ray, I don't know what I want to major in, that is completely okay. We won't hold it against you in the review process, okay? Like a lot of the other institutions, I wanted to definitely share with you that, we actually have 3 different types of admissions preferences, okay? So if you're interested in applying for early decision, which is our binding agreement, okay, or early action, which is our non-binding agreement, our deadline for admission is actually November the 1st. For students who are going to be applying for regular decision, your deadline will be February the 1st, okay? We accept 4 different types of applications at TCU. We accept the Apply Texas app, the Common Application, the Coalition app, in addition to also to the TCU institutional application as well, okay? So as it relates to academic scholarships, when you apply to TCU, you're automatically putting yourself into contingency for our academic scholarships, all right? We start at about 12,000 and we range all the way up to about full tuition. For us. The 3 things that we take into consideration for our academic scholarships includes your unweighted GPA on a 4.0 scale. We'll look at your test scores as well. And then also too, we will consider your rigor. So the types of classes that you take in high school as well, okay? So beyond the scope of that, we do encourage for students to consider applying for financial aid as well. Okay, so that is always another option for you. But again, kind of like, one of our colleagues stated earlier, Rick, if you come to Dallas Fort Worth, you're actually going to be in the 4th largest metroplex in the country. So the opportunities are endless. When we think about all of those Fortune 500 companies, they know the types of students that our institutions are producing. If you're definitely interested in sports, we have the Dallas Mavericks, the Texas Rangers, we have the Dallas Fuel, the Dallas Wings, the Dallas Cowboys. So there's a lot of different ways for you to get involved both on and off campus as well. So again, I definitely wanted to just give you a brief overview of our institution. If you have any additional questions, please drop them down into the Q&A box so that we can make sure that all of your questions are answered. I'm so happy to be here representing Texas Christian University, but also to be amongst great colleagues as well. And I'm actually going to turn it back over to Owen, who will actually bounce it over to our next presenter.
Thank you so much, David. As he mentioned, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A, as we'll be happy to answer those in just a few moments. But first, I'm pleased to introduce our final presenter from Texas Tech University.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name's April Tipton. I represent Texas Tech University. I actually am located here in San Diego, so I'm coming to you live here. I'm regional. With that being said, Texas Tech is a big public university. We're super excited to announce Texas Tech's enrollment. We have over 40,322 students to be exact. So we're super excited about that. We're also able to maintain the student to teacher ratio to 20 to 1. Our average SAT SAT and ACT score is 1147. We are a top tier 1 research school. If you notice here on our map, 78% of our new students come farther than 300 miles away. So with that being said, we definitely are not a suitcase campus where you'd be coming home every weekend. We're located here, as you can see, on Lubbock, Texas, which is 6 hours away from Dallas, 8 hours away from Houston as well. Just to also to tell you a little bit more about Texas Tech University, we have 10 different colleges, also including Honors College with over 150 different academic programs. And that's all consisting of undergrad, graduate, pre-law, and medical, all under one campus. At Texas Tech University, we have a variety of wonderful things for students can choose from with over 550 clubs and organizations, 19 resident halls. You are required to live on campus your first year, 30 plus dining venues, 240 square feet, rec center. I was literally just talking to my little cousin today, who's actually attending Texas Tech University, who's from a small private school out here in San Diego, St. Augustine. And he never visited Texas Tech due to the fact of COVID until he started school this past August. And he absolutely loves Texas Tech. And one of his favorite things to do is to hang out at the rec center. Also, with that being said, Tech definitely has a lot of spirit and tradition at Texas Tech. I kid you not, we wear nothing but red and black. The town, Lubbock itself, loves Texas Tech. So again, lots of school spirit. We are a Division I, part of the Big 12 at Texas Tech University. So anytime we have any victories or special occasions, we have a victory bell that I've actually seen multiple times. It's actually real exciting, to say the least. At Texas Tech, we do again have a lot of spirits and traditions. One of our traditions at Texas Tech University is we have which is called Carol the Lights. They string over 25,000 lights with 20,000 attendees. Last year we had 9 proposals. This year we're curious to see how many will be this year as well. So applying to Texas Tech University, there are 4 documents that we're looking for. Again, Applied Texas or the Common App. We do not prefer one over the other. There is a $75 application fee. We do have fee waivers on our website if you'd like more information. We do ask for official transcripts, but really we only need your official transcripts if you plan on attending a Texas Tech, or with that being said, for scholarship purposes as well. This year, we are offering the test optional for the fall 2021 class as well. For the assured admissions, we also have this opportunity as well. This is going to be based off of your SAT and ACT scores. These are going to be for our restricted majors for as far as business, engineering, interior design, as well as engineering as well. Also, with that being said, again, we are going to be using these test scores. We have students all the way up until June 1st that you can go ahead of your senior year to submit scores to us. So we definitely want to work with you as well. If you don't make it into our assured admissions, no worries at all, because we have the application review process as well, which is going to be a holistic review for students too. So make sure you add in your curricular activities as well, all those wonderful things. And then for test optional students, we have this wonderful opportunity for you to, again, so this will give you an option too. So please, I highly suggest you to fill everything out. I read applications all day long as well, and I do see a lot of students not completing the full holistic review. So I highly encourage you to put in an essay or a letter of recommendation so we can know a little bit more about you as well. If you are not admitted through the test optional, again, if you submit us new scores, so you could be reevaluated with your SAT and ACT scores as well. With that being said, I do want to touch upon real quickly with our tuition here. If you do receive a $1,000 scholarship from Texas Tech University, again, if you receive a $1,000 scholarship from Texas Tech University, that is where you're going to get the in-state versus the out-of-state tuition as well. Also, with that being said, we have presidential scholarships. These scholarships here do require you to have your SAT and ACT scores. If your high school doesn't rank you, don't worry, we'll rank for you based off of your SAT and ACT scores. This is everything that you see here as far as the renewal requirements. This is what you would need to do in order to keep the scholarship at Texas Tech University. We do stack our scholarships here. So if you do receive one of our presidential merit scholarships, you will get the in-state Plus, you'll also get wherever you fall in this presidential scholarship here too as well. Again, we will take SAT and ACT scores all the way up until June 1st of your senior year. We do have scholarships available for students who elect to apply test optional as well, which those are going to be our merit or our Matador scholarships. So let's say, for an example, that you applied test optional, but then now you're able to take the SAT and ACT scores. You can still submit those all the way up until June 1st to us as well. Lastly, on another note I would like to include with this is make sure you definitely create a Raider Connect account. This is a wonderful account where you can check your application, upload your documents, register for events as well. This is a wonderful event. And then we also have events virtually too. So if you would like to join us on any of our virtual events, you're more than welcome to. Most importantly, thank you so much. And again, thank you all for having us this evening, and my colleagues on this call. It's been wonderful with all of you, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Great, thank you so much, April. At this point, we'll bring all of our presenters back as we transition to a Q&A portion. So if you do have any questions that you would like all of our presenters to respond to, certainly feel free to drop those in the Q&A window. Before we get started with any of those though, we'll get started by just asking a question, and in the order of our original presentations, even though some campuses may be open right now, some may not be closed and welcoming visitors, at some point students are going to be able to kind of return to visit different campuses. And when they have a chance to visit your institution, what do you think is that one place that they need to make sure they see when they stop by your campus?
It's kind of like going into the Cheesecake Factory and seeing a menu with 1,000 different things. Everyone's going to gravitate to something else, and there's no wrong answer. Stepping foot on campus, you're going to go, whoa. Sorry, I'm Southern California. You're going to go, yay, I am home. And that's exactly how we want you to feel. So just walk around, smell it, breathe it, feel it, and there's no wrong choice from any of our schools that you're looking at.
Yeah, I think for me, for St. Edward's, first of all, I mean, I'll use the one that's in my Zoom background. This is main building, which is kind of right in the center of our campus. Those red doors, I know my thumbnails are really small right now here, but the red doors on the front of this building are kind of an iconic landmark of our campus. And you can see the whole Austin skyline from that spot. And it's also right next to a huge historic oak tree that's called the Sorin Oak, which is named after the founder of campus, because it's said that was where he stood. Like when there was no campus there, it was just a hilltop in the middle of Texas before the city of Austin was even really developed, and decided to put a school here, and that this was the place that St. Edward's would be. And so those are places that I've always really enjoyed as a staff member, and just makes me feel connected to the campus and to the city of Austin.
It's my turn. I think we are open for tours right now, and I think my favorite spot is actually, I'm going to steal your stuff, Mallory. It's in my background. This is OCSB, the Ocean Science. Oh my goodness, it's the Oceans Building is what I call it. And you can see the amphitheater behind me. So I think this is like the best spot. And if you're looking, this direction facing away from the building, you'll see the boat basin where we have all of our research boats and ships. We also have our training ship, the Rudder, the Texas Rudder, where our Maritime students go on their training ship. So I think this is like the best part. This was my building when I was a student. This is where I studied mostly all my marine biology classes.
Yeah, so I agree with Rick. Different strokes for different folks, right? So, once you actually go onto the campus, you'll really get a feel for, if that's going to be a place that you can call home for the next 4 years. But we are open for campus tours, but we're actually prioritizing seniors at the moment. We're offering information sessions in addition to a campus visit, once at 9:30 a.m. and another one at 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. But one of the really cool points to visit at TCU would probably be the Blue, which is also our doubles as our student union as well. That's where a lot of our students spend their time, being able to eat. A lot of the student organizations have their meetings in that building as well. But that's also too a good central vantage point on campus as well. The cool thing about it is right in the middle of campus where the blue is located. We actually have something called Frog Fountain. And what it is it consists of 4 different lotus leaves, and each of them represents our freshman through senior classes. And as you can tell, if you would be able to see the actual statue, the cool thing is the water it shoots up to the highest lotus leaf, and it actually pours down to each of the different leaves. So we want to show how intertwined our students are at TCU. So the hope and goal is that our seniors who have had the most experience on campus are able to share their experiences and knowledges with those below them, and hopefully all of that knowledge and experience is basically being poured down to the other classes. And then also too, all of the commons area where the students would actually be living on campus as well is located there as well. So there's a lot of events that take place. Our Christmas tree lighting in December takes place in that area as well, where we give out hot chocolate. Santa comes, the community brings their children, and they're able to write letters to Santa. So it's just a really, really cool event. So for us here at TCU, I would say the blue would be the place to be.
Hi, yeah. So at Texas Tech University, I do have to iterate what Rick and Ray said as well. I think when you go on campus, you're just going to be at awe, because Texas Tech is we're actually the 2nd largest campus, and there's just so much wonderful things that you can actually see on campus. And I think each student has something different that's going to be pertaining for them as well. So we are actually giving tours as well at Texas Tech University too. So we're very excited to be able to showcase Texas Tech University. What you see in back of me, I would say this is a really famous staple at Texas Tech University, where students always love to take pictures in front of our university as well. And there's so many wonderful and beautiful things on our university. And again, I just want to relate what Rick and Mr. Ray said too as well, is that when you're coming to such a big school, and every student has a different, unique experience of what is going to be different for them, because they may be looking at the College of Engineering or maybe the College of Communications. It's totally 2 different spectrum. But most importantly, when you go out and visit the campus, make sure you engage with students on campus, because I think that is really going to help you out as well. But most importantly, I hope you enjoyed this presentation from all of us, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to our panelists for giving their time and sharing their institutions with us this evening. And thank you to all of our viewers, both those who tuned in live as well as to those watching the recording. When this webinar ends, there will be a link to a quick 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Just a reminder that this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to watch additional recordings or go back to the same website where you initially registered to sign up and view additional ones. Thanks again, and have a great evening.